Yo, so we start off in the Springwood diner with this guy named Dean. Now Dean has been awake for 3 days because he's having nightmares about Freddy Krueger. And as you know, these are not just regular nightmares. In these nightmares, Freddy is attempting to catch a body, and if you die in these dreams, you die in real life. Dean asks the waitress for more coffee, but Shotty flat out ignores him. And right here is when I would have noticed that something was off. Like I would have tried to wake myself up immediately. But y'all already know how dumb the characters are in horror movies. Because why is he sitting here following her, despite the fact that she's being weird? Like, is this nigga serious? Nah, this that Snow Bunny hypnosis at full throttle. Freddy spawns behind Dean and begins stalking him. Then when Dean turns around, he gets jump scared and sliced. Now Dean somehow survived his nightmare thanks to his friend named Nancy. She refuels his coffee and tells him that he's not allowed to sleep in the diner. Then when she takes his plate, we notice that he has a cut in his hand. Chris walks in looking for Dean and he tells her about his dreams. And Shotty really had the audacity to sit here and try to tell him, your dreams are just dreams. Dean, my guy, you're a better man than me, because I would have hit Shotty with an RKO right through that table. I haven't slept in 3 days because I'm being terrorized. The last thing I need is someone telling me that my dreams aren't real. She leaves to the restroom and Dean accidentally falls asleep. Then a few seconds later, we hear Dean telling Freddy that he's not real, only for Freddy to say that he is now before offing him right in front of Chris. Nah, he left Shotty straight traumatized. They have a funeral for Dean and Chris ends up falling asleep. And right here is where the craziest shit happens, because she ends up seeing a younger version of herself and she has cuts all over her body. And as Chris is trying to figure out what's happening, Freddy jump scares her, waking her up. Now Chris goes to look at the photos of Dean's childhood and she notices that she was in one of them. And this is a big red flag because she didn't even know him till high school. She tries talking to Jesse about Dean's death, but he completely shuts her off. And when Nancy shows up attempting to tell Chris what she saw, Jesse tells her that she didn't see anything. Like, excuse me? How are you gonna tell me what I saw? Right there, she should have rocked his ass. Nancy's at her crib and she's listening to that heat. I already know she got that Prada bad Shotty plan. Nah, Nancy, you know ball. We cut to Chris and she's questioning her mom about the photos with Dean because it's awfully suspicious that she doesn't remember Dean. She goes into the attic and finds a box full of stuff from her childhood. Then she ends up finding some legendary loot, as we see that she found a dress with the cuts from her dream. Nah, she better go buy some energy drinks and some Starbucks because if she sleeps, she's cooked. The lights start flickering and instead of running away, she just stands there with the flashlight. Then Freddy spawns in with the jump scare and tackles her. He asks Chris, does she remember him? And she starts freaking out, causing herself to wake up screaming. Nah, the writers hit us with the pump fake of doom because I low-key thought she was finna get packed up. Chris goes to school and she ends up falling asleep in class, leaving a wide open lane for Freddy to come and terrorize her. She tries to run, but that don't work, as she ends up back in the room with Freddy. Then Freddy tells her that she looks as beautiful as ever. Like, bro, you wildin'. That's literally a teenager. Nah, Freddy out here trying to catch a case. She wakes up screaming in front of the whole class before just heading back home. Oh, okay. She just allowed to completely ditch school? That's crazy. My mom would've gave me belt and sent me right back up there. Later, we see Chris telling her boyfriend about her dreams again. And this time, bro reveals that he's having the same dreams. Then Chris starts having a mental breakdown because she realizes that they're cooked. Not gonna lie, I do not blame Shotty because I would have freaked out too. Like, what do you even do in this situation? Now the two instantly fall asleep, which is one of the dumbest things ever. Like, they didn't even try to stay awake. Chris hears her dog barking and goes outside to check alone. Then we see that the poor dog has been sliced up and Freddy's peeping around the corner trolling. She takes off running but ends up back in her old preschool. Then when she walks into this classroom, Freddy rushes Chris, causing her to wake up. Or at least that's what we thought, because we get hit with the pump fake of all pump fakes. After splashing her face with water, she lays back down in bed. Then Freddy pops up out of nowhere, revealing that she's still asleep. Her boyfriend tries to wake her up but gets tossed off the bed. Then right here, Freddy started moving like Darth Vader, using the force to levitate Chris, combo her into the wall, and then slicing her open. Oh my, Freddy's not playing around. Jesse runs out the front door, accidentally setting off the alarms. And it's not looking too good for bro, because Freddy has him framed for Chris's death. Despite trying to run away, the police chases him down and catches him. Then they send my dog to jail, which is tough because he's literally a victim. The next day we see Quentin in the library and bro's going through it. He hasn't had any sleep in days because this nigga Freddy keeps spawn camping his dreams. Nigga straight spawn camping teens like R. Kelly. We cut back to Jesse and see that my dog got bailed out of jail, only for him to walk down the hall and realize that it was a setup. Freddy takes him to the gulag and now it's time to play. As Jesse turns around and sees Fred walking towards him, Jesse tries running but doesn't go too far because he hits a dead end and sees Chris's corpse. Freddy started pressing Jesse before he randomly disappears. And right when the coast seems clear, Freddy pulls up, stabbing him from behind. And the worst part about this whole thing was that Freddy wasn't done. He held him upside down and began torturing him. Nancy starts putting things together and starts asking questions. She asks her mom what's her connection with the other kids that were being tortured. And Ooh, this woman gets me tight because she doesn't even try to hide the fact that she knows. She makes it so obvious that she's lying. She doesn't even wait 4 effing seconds to call one of her friends and tell them Nancy's starting to remember. Now Freddy goes back to his R. Kelly ways of spawn camping teens as we see his hand coming out of water in between Nancy's legs. Oh nah, this brother is sick. Nancy falls asleep and ends up at this preschool, and Freddy wastes no time pressing her and telling her that she's his little Nancy. Then he starts licking her. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is a sick Negro. She wakes up before things go too far thanks to Quinn calling her. Then they meet up and realize that Freddy's connected to them through this preschool. They start searching for clues on Freddy and finds a picture with all of them in it, and everyone who's being tortured by Freddy was in this picture. Turns out that they were all students of a man named Fred Krueger, and y'all, this nigga might be worse than EDP, R. Kelly, and a grabber. He was so sick that he actually went after kids in preschool.
Lock his ass up! Lock his ass up! You going to jail.
One of my biggest problems with this whole thing was the fact that nobody remembered this. Like, no one from your group remembers this weirdo. We cut to a scene of Quentin at swim practice, and during this practice he manages to get pulled underwater. He gets taken across town to where a man is running from a bunch of cars, and when we get a close-up we see that the man running is Fred Krueger. Turns out that the parents weren't happy that he went after their kids, so they chased him into this building. Like, Diddy Fred beat the case, but the parents did not let that slide. They pulled a Seth Rollins, burning down the whole building that he was in and giving us Freddy Krueger's origin story. Freddy's on fire and exits the building, and he's running straight at Quentin, but luckily he wakes up thanks to his coach giving him CPR. We get to Nancy, who's watching a recording of another victim, and bro's asking for help, but it's too late as he falls asleep and Freddy bashes his skull against the camera. Bro, everyone in this town must sleep under a rock, because why is nobody questioning these deaths? You got people getting bodied on camera left and right, and every adult just chooses to ignore it. Nancy's telling Quentin that they need to go back to the preschool, but they need to stay awake, so they stop by the pharmacy to pick up meds. Nancy stays in the car despite knowing how tired she is, and the moment she dozes off, Freddy pops open the car door and tosses her out, waking her the up. Quentin's trying to get his refills, but he keeps getting denied. Meanwhile, Nancy's fighting for her life trying to stay awake. She gets out of the car and enters the pharmacy. Then out of nowhere the light starts flickering, and then she ends up in the boiler room. And right here is where Freddy starts terrorizing her. And to be honest, she made it way too easy for him, because instead of running away, she starts backing up slowly and lets him push her down. And instead of getting up and taking off, she just starts crawling away. Nah, she doing that snow bunny crawl they do in every horror movie. Freddy slashes her and tells her to wake up because she's bleeding. And when Quentin shows up, they notice that she snatched a piece of Freddy's sweater from her dream. Quentin picks her up and takes her to the hospital, and when she's recovering, her mom asks her what happened, but Nancy tells her mom that she knows exactly who did this to her, but her mom isn't listening as the nurse tries putting Nancy to sleep but fails because Nancy tweets out. The nurse has Nancy's mom sign off on putting her to sleep, but when they come back they see that she vanished. Nah, she disappeared quicker than a black father with a newborn. Quentin and Nancy are driving to the preschool, and they're trying to figure out a plan for Freddy, but Freddy spawns in the middle of the street, making Quentin swerve and almost crash out. And this right here was exactly what Freddy wanted, because he leads them straight to the preschool. They go searching for clues like Mystery Inc. Then they find a secret passage that Freddy made them use as kids. Bro, Freddy has issues. Nah, this really some of y'all favorite horror villain too. My goat Chucky would never. They end up finding pictures confirming that bro is a real weirdo. And to make things worse, he even has pictures of a young Nancy. Is this how you get your sick kicks? They come up with a plan to let Nancy sleep and bring Freddy to the real world, which honestly isn't a bad idea. Like, Quentin even takes the blade off a paper cutter to use as a weapon, but he somehow ruins the plan before he even gets started, because he falls asleep while keeping watch over Nancy, and this left him wide open for Freddy to pursue. Freddy catches Quentin lacking and starts bashing his face into a pipe. Then Freddy gets in his face and starts talking shit. Not gonna lie, right here I would have rocked Freddy in his face. Like, I don't understand why these characters don't fight back. Freddy slices Quentin across his chest and then goes looking for Nancy, and once he finds her, she does her best to show no fear. She pushes him and tries running away, but she ends up in his house. She sees Freddy's shadow coming downstairs, so she does the smart thing and tries hiding. Now her hiding in this closet didn't last too long, because she's in Freddy's world, as he spawns next to her in the closet and she takes off. She gets upstairs to this puddle of blood, then sinks through landing on his bed, and now she's somehow in this white dress and she can't move. And to make things even worse, Freddy's in here talking about how the dress she's in is one of his favorites. He climbs on top of her and tosses her into a wall. Then he starts trolling, asking her if she's having fun.
No, nigga!
She finally fights back, stabbing him in the eye, but Freddy says that it don't work because she's in his world. Then he throws her on the bed and starts trying to do things that I'm not even gonna talk about. Right as Freddy's about to stab Nancy, Quentin wakes her up. Then she grabs Freddy and pulls him into the real world. Yeah, Freddy, you tough with home court advantage. Let's see how you play on the road though. Quentin slices Freddy's arm, tries to overhand but gets parried into a stab. Then Freddy tosses him across the room with ease. Nancy tries fighting him but gets hit with a judo toss. And now it's looking like GG's. The odds aren't looking too good for Nancy and Quentin. Freddy tries to stab Nancy but gets blocked by this board. And Quentin comes out of nowhere stabbing Freddy in the leg. Like, how the f did he not die? He shouldn't even be able to move right now. Nah, bro's plot armor is low-key different. Freddy's about to go for the finishing blow on Quentin, but as soon as he swings, Nancy chops off his arm and starts talking her shit, asking him, does it hurt? Because you're in my world now, bitch. Then slicing his throat to end Freddy Krueger's reign of terror. After Freddy gets packed up, they burn down a preschool with him in it. Then everything finally goes back to normal. No more nightmares, no more Freddy. Everything's looking great. The moment Nancy makes up with her mother, we see Freddy appearing in the mirror before stabbing her mom from behind and yanking her into his world. Nah, not gonna lie, that ending was crazy. He can't keep getting away with this. Anyways, that's the end of this vid. I just want to say thanks for 20K and I appreciate all the support. I really do love y'all, man. And I hope I see y'all next vid. I'm out. Play made for well.
We so proud of him. Yeah, did that shit again. I'm gon' proud of him. Yeah, can't go broke again. Yeah, we got hella racks. Yeah, we so proud of him. Yeah, did that shit again.